All right, let's get it. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Listen to me. Are you discoverable? Are you findable? You're starting it off from jump today, as I always do, right into the point. Yesterday, before I even get started, if you do not know, let you know now, I do teach. I'm a teacher at a brand new charter school that runs K through 5, named the Center for Creative Education. And it's a great concept in regards to how we teach the kids. We use the arts, we use teaching artists to integrate lessons on math and science, social studies, and things of that nature. Artists. And when I say artists, it can be anyone from a poet to a sculptor to a musician to painters, dancers, whatever it is. We have teaching artists come in and integrate, figure out ways that we work with the actual educational teachers, the educators, the basic educators, to figure out ways of creatively teaching kids lessons so they're engaged in the learning aspect of it. And yesterday, the class I work with particularly had the teacher, my guy Joshua Ra, who does a ton of different things, from graphic design to poetry, and believe he does some music as well. There's a ton of different things. Just look him up. He does a great job. So yesterday he was giving the kids a lesson on similes. We were doing some poetry, and we were integrating it with how we teach the kids how to creatively write and things of that nature, right? So he was teaching the kids similes, and what he did to start the lesson was he had the kids brainstorm certain things, and he was doing this strategically. He had the brainstorming thing done strategically because eventually what he asked the kids to do was to come up with a simile that they could use their brain for. So let me just, if you forgot what a simile is, well, take this tree for an example. This tree is as big as a giraffe, right? Or this light is as bright as a candle. You take a light, candle, things of that nature, making similes in terms of the way you compare one thing to the other, right? So we were teaching kids similes in regards to the brain, right? He used their brain, and he asked them to come up with a simile for their brain. And all of them, all the kids, 100% of them, every last one of the kids in that classroom, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, they associated Google with their brain. All right, hear me now. All right, they associated Google with their brain. We had them draw pictures and everything. And these kids, again, I'm talking about a group of second grade kids that are associating how the brain works with Google. And they drew pictures about, hey, Google brain, that's how they're associating their system in terms of how they're going to find people, how they're going to verify people, how they're going to verify information, how they're going to verify anything important in life. They're going to use Google as that barometer, right? As the barometer for when something is going to be important, or if something is important to listen to. And that leads me to today's Move Swiftly thought. That leads me to the question I have for you. When people will when you are Googled, right? When people look you up on Google, what are they gonna find? This is an important question. This is very important. You cannot brush it off anymore, because now it's affecting the kids. You don't get a chance to just, duck and hide in a corner and wither away in some 9-to-5 somewhere. That's not gonna work no more. Are you Googleable? And when you do get Googled, when you do introduce yourself to someone of this Generation X, and they do Google you, what's gonna show up? What exactly is gonna show up? What are you putting out there? What are you publishing? What's really gonna happen? And are you gonna have enough information out there on Google to where they continuously listen to you? All right. Now, you may not have been blessed like me. I'm 100%. Matter of fact, the majority of you guys listening to me right now, I probably have not been blessed like I have and have a unique name. So right now you can Google as one Crookshank, ton of stuff will come up, ton of different things will come up, from football to speaking to books, boxing lessons, all that kind of stuff. And a large part of the reason that you do see so much stuff, or you see the stuff that's up now, is because my name is so unique, and more than likely you won't meet another as one Crookshank for the rest of your life. However, for those of you who don't have a unique name like me, I'll tell you this too: it doesn't really matter. You have to come up. It's about Actually, there was a company that I used to affiliate with. It was called ID Life, and ID Life, they found, I'm not sure if he still does it, but the founder's name was a guy named Logan Stout. And I remember there was a promo video in which he was talking about the great companies out there, the great businesses out there, and he talked about them, how, they almost sound like a verb, right? You say Google, you say Amazon, you say Starbucks, you say McDonald's, you say Nike, right? You always think of it like it's moving. It's not a noun, it's like a verb. And that's where you can figure out ways to make yourself findable on Google, all right? Come up with a phrase, come up with a certain thing. You have to have something in your heart and in your mind that if you put it out there the right way, then your ideal customer and your ideal client will find you. I'll give you three examples of people that I know personally. This has, again, this has served them in a great way. It's not only serve them, but me as a person that follows their work. I watch them and I, take some lessons on what they do so I can apply it to my own business. The first one is my first cousin. I'll give you the Cliff Notes story because of these three, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version because I've had conversations with all these three guys, and I know the long version of how their businesses got started. But now I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version. So first of all, my cousin has a clothing brand named Jumper Status, and I remember when he was actually first starting it, he was working at an airport, and I remember him telling me, he looks at me, goes, "Yo, cuz, how long you know me, how long you know I like to dress?" So it only makes sense that I have my own clothing brand now, right? So right now you can Google Jumper Status, and the first thing that's gonna pop up is his clothing brand with all the products and all the things that he's doing from an urban wear standpoint, all right? It's number one. Number two, my main man, Mr. Taj Deshaun Johnson. A lot of people didn't know that was his actual full name, Taj Deshaun Johnson. If you were to go right now and Google Thrive After Sports, all his information will come up, and you hear the name Thrive After Sports. And I remember he actually said this on my show, on my podcast. He said, "Look, I started it because I got tired of telling people how I was doing after sports. I got tired of telling people, look, I'm surviving." Eventually he said, "Look, now I'm thriving." And now you Google Thrive After Sports and all of his information pops up again. It's not about his name, it's about what he's putting out there, what he's representing. Final one I'm going to give you is probably my favorite example of all of them, is my guy, Mr. Dre Baldwin, when you put on work on your game. And the reason I kind of coined him as the favorite is because he's really built a great system and a framework around it, and everybody new that comes into his world gets a video in which he first said work on your game and camera. This was him doing some basketball videos, and he's by himself in the gym stretching. He just puts the camera on and he tells people, go work on your fucking game. And now he's got a show, a whole brand. Again, go Google work on your game yourself and you'll see all the information that comes up. That's what I mean when I say put a phrase out there. Make sure when and if you're Google, not if, but definitely when, not if, when you're Googled by the next generation of people, when you're Googled by these kids, something comes up that's going to make it so they continuously dive deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into your world. All right. Right now, actually, I'll give you another one. I'll give me myself, and I won't even use my name. Go Google Move Swiftly Thought, and you'll see all the information come up. It just comes up, popping up every single day, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about putting the information out there so you can become discoverable and you can be found. All right. And get very, very prolific in that space and just keep going and keep going and keep going. Because I'll tell you one thing, you don't need a down payment to do this. You don't need to have a certain credit score to do this. You just got to have the heart. You got to have the ability. You got to have the mentality that I'm going to go after this thing every single day, whether it's a good day, whether it's a bad day. Doesn't matter what type of day it is. Doesn't matter what type of day it is. I'm just going to keep going after it regardless. All right. With all that being said, the main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, MakeYaMove.com. That's MakeYaMove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.